Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. The most common question that I received this year is, should I buy a house right now? Also, I'm getting a lot of questions from home sellers as well because they're asking me, is now a good time to sell a house? So in today's housing market update video here, I'm going to answer these questions for you because I'm going to give you my pros and cons about our current housing market in the US. So after watching this video, I hope you'll make a more informed decision about whether or not now is a good time to buy or sell a house. I have 5 pros and 5 cons about our current real estate market in the United States. So let's talk with my 5 pros. No big surprises here, but my first pro about our current real estate market is record low interest rates. So according to Freddie Mac, for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, that reached another record low last week. So for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage in the US, that is averaging at 2.66%. That's the lowest rate in their survey's history, which dates back to 1971. Honestly, I have lost track about how many record lows we have hit this year, but I believe that's number 15. Obviously, these record low interest rates allows home buyers to afford more expensive houses. Interest rates are expected to remain around 3% for much of 2021, but that really all depends on the trajectory of this pandemic, vaccine distribution, and how our economy fares next year. For example, the Federal Reserve has indicated that it will keep the federal funds rate at or near 0% until at least 2023. So if that holds true, I would expect mortgage interest rates to not increase greatly next year. My second pro about our housing market right now has to do with the flexibility that a lot of people have right now on where they want to live, especially if they can work from home. For example, this summer, Bermuda announced their Work from Bermuda certificate program where you can work there remotely for up to 12 months. Working from the beach? Sign me up. Or if you prefer the Hawaiian Islands, then 50 lucky people will get their airfare paid for in exchange for working remotely in Hawaii, plus volunteering their time at local nonprofits in Hawaii. You also can apply to live in Barbados, Iceland, Portugal, Germany, and Spain, to name a few. My third pro for our current real estate market right now is for home sellers because it's an awesome environment if you do want to sell your house. For example, home prices in the US are just under the record that was set in October 2020. And according to the National Association of Realtors, the median home price in the US has increased 14.6% from 1 year ago. In addition, housing inventory is down 22% compared to a year ago, and the unsold inventory is sitting at an all-time low of 2.3 months. What this means is that all the houses that are currently listed for sale in the US, then all those houses would be sold in 2.3 months at the current home sale pace. Houses in the US are also selling very, very quickly. So in November, it only took 21 days to sell a house on average. So what more could a home seller ask for? I mean, we have near record high home prices in the US. We have less competition for those houses that are listed for sale on average because there's a lack of housing inventory in the US right now. In addition, chances are that you will sell your house very, very quickly in many markets across the US as long as your asking price is reasonable. My fourth pro, and this is really looking into the future here, I believe that housing inventory will increase in 2021. The reason why I say this is that we have almost 3 million homeowners in the US right now who are in mortgage loan forbearance, meaning they don't have to pay their mortgages for up to 12 months. That number of people who have entered into mortgage loan forbearances peaked in May of this year, 2020. So I would expect in April or May of 2021 for inventory to possibly increase because if you're in active loan forbearance and not paying your mortgage for 12 months, why would you sell your house during that period of time? I mean, you might as well wait until your forbearance is over and then sell your house afterwards, right? Another reason why I believe that housing inventory will increase in 2021, which is a positive sign for real estate market because we need housing inventory, is because of vaccine distribution. I know a lot of my friends who are in the healthcare industries have already received their first shots of this vaccine. So I believe that a lot of people right now, and this year in particular, a lot of people are not comfortable with having strangers walk throughout their houses when they get their houses listed for sale. However, I believe that this vaccine distribution and more people getting the vaccine will give people a peace of mind and a sense of comfort in getting their houses listed for sale in 2021. Another reason why I believe that housing inventory will increase in 2021 is that builders have been increasing their construction of new houses. So according to the US Census Bureau, housing starts for single family houses in November 2020 increased 27.1% compared to November 2019. In addition, permits pulled for building new single-family houses in the U.S. increased 22.2% during that same time period. The key question here, of course, is this enough to meet the buyer demand that we have right now? Because buyer demand right now is very, very high. My fifth pro about our current real estate market right now is the lack of distressed sales. I mean the lack of foreclosures and short sales, which is a positive sign in our real estate market. However, this is a complete no-brainer because we have foreclosure moratoriums in place right now. So for example, we have a foreclosure moratorium in place for single-family houses backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac until at least January 31st, 2021. I emphasize at least because this moratorium has been extended several times in 2020. And according to the Federal Housing Finance Agency, this foreclosure moratorium affects more than 28 million homeowners who have a mortgage backed by Fannie or Freddie, and those are called the enterprises. So because of these foreclosure moratoriums, distressed sales represented less than 1% of all sales in November 2020, and that was down from 2% last November of 2019. That was my 5 pros, but now let's discuss my 5 cons about our current real estate market. But before that, please hit the like button if you appreciate real estate market updates just like this one. I really appreciate that. Videos like these tend to take hours to make, so I greatly appreciate it if you just hit the like button, and it's completely free of charge. Okay, thank you so much for doing that. Let's discuss my 5 cons because these were really easy to come up with. My very first one would be record high home prices is causing affordability issues for home buyers right now. High home prices is great if you're a home seller, but not so much if you're a home buyer. Obviously, record low interest rates is great if you're a home buyer, but home prices have been increasing at a much greater rate than interest rates have been declining. I noticed that new home sales in the US dipped 11% in November when you compare it to October, the previous month. And also noticed that the National Association of Home Builders stated that one of the reasons for this dip may be due to the affordability issues and low housing inventory. My second con about our current housing market is the lack of housing inventory for home buyers right now. So with inventory of existing houses down about 22% compared to last year, there are fewer options for home buyers right now. So it's more challenging to find a house that you do like, that you want to place an offer on. And also it's very challenging to get an offer accepted in many markets because sellers are receiving multiple offers for the properties that are listed for sale. In addition, for those who are looking to buy a brand new house, inventory of completed, ready to occupy new houses was down 43% compared to November 2019. So housing inventory for home buyers right now is a big issue, and home builders are obviously right now trying to ramp up construction in order to meet the demands from home buyers right now. However, there's a big lag time too because it takes about 4 to 9 months to build a brand new house, weather permitting, of course. My third con is the stiff competition that home buyers in many parts of the US are experiencing right now because of high buyer demand and the lack of housing inventory. Let me share a couple examples with you because I'm a real estate agent in the greater Sacramento area. So I had a client that was interested in a house. The asking price was $729,000. Nice updated house, had a beautiful backyard with a swimming pool that a lot of people are really looking for right now because of COVID. 3 days on the market, so it's only listed for 3 days. The seller received 9 offers on the property and it sold for $772,000 or $43,000 over the asking price. Let me share one more example with you. So I had a client who was interested in a house in Sacramento. We placed an offer for this house. The asking price was $570,000. It was listed for sale for 7 days until the seller accepted an offer after receiving 6 different offers, and it ultimately sold for $600,000 or $30,000 more than the asking price. And obviously, this is just 2 examples out of thousands of houses that sell in the greater Sacramento area, but I just want to share that experience with you because it is very competitive on a real estate market, but not every home seller is receiving multiple offers, and not every home seller is selling their houses for over the asking price. However, in many parts of the US that are facing stiff buyer competition, you do have to write an aggressive offer if you do want an offer acceptance. That may include writing an offer for over the asking price, offering to do a shortened contingency period for your inspections, maybe doing a higher down payment. Lots of things that you can make your offer look more attractive in the eyes of the seller. I actually made a video about that. I'll leave a link up here and also a link in the description below for how to write an offer when you're facing a lot of competition for home buyers. My fourth con about our current real estate market right now is the uncertainty for the future right now. We have high unemployment right now, about double it was pre-COVID. We have a lagging economy. We have affordability issues because home prices have been increasing so greatly. And also this eviction and foreclosure moratorium has to end at some point. It's obviously very hard to predict what's going to happen with our economy and our real estate market in 2021. However, I'm thinking about making a video about that. So if you want me to make a video about that and share more of my thoughts about what I expect a real estate market to do in 2021, leave me a comment below for that, and I'll be happy to make a video for you if there's enough interest in that. For our US economy, the Fed stated the following. They said that they now expect the real gross domestic product to fall just 2.4% in 2020 compared to a decline of 3.7% that was predicted in September. The Fed also upped its 2021 real GDP forecast to 4.2% from 4% expected previously. In addition, the unemployment rate should fall to 5% in 2021 compared to the central bank's previous estimate of 5.5%. And obviously the eviction and foreclosure moratorium cannot be extended indefinitely. So when that does expire, how will it affect our real estate market? My fifth con about our housing market looking into 2021 and 2022 is this Biden first-time homebuyer tax credit. I actually made a separate video about that. I'll leave a link up here and also a link in the description below for you as well. So more or less, this is a first-time homebuyer tax credit that you would be given if you buy a house for the first time. This is bad in my opinion because this would create more demand from home buyers, from first-time home buyers, and that would cause more competition for the houses that are available for sale. In my opinion, a first-time homebuyer credit does not solve our housing problem right now. What we do need is more housing inventory. A housing credit would increase demand without coming up with a solution to increase housing inventory. However, it's very important to note here that this housing credit is just an idea. It's not clear if Biden will actually push this through. And there's also very little details about this housing credit. So we'll make sure you're aware of that. This is not a law. There's not some formalized plan for this. It's just an idea. I have a bonus number 6. This is my 6th con for our current housing market. And that is that we have a very unhealthy balance of home buyers and home sellers right now. Right now, we have far more home buyers than home sellers in many parts of the country. And that is driving up home prices. It's worth noting in this video here that don't let anyone tell you that now is a good time to buy or now is a good time to sell a house. That is a very personal decision, and only you can make a decision about whether now is a good time to buy or sell a house. If you decide to buy a house right now, I have 3 main tips for you. So these are very important. Number 1, have long-term time horizons, meaning you do not plan to sell this house for at least 7 to 10 plus years because home prices cannot go up forever. We are bound for a real estate market correction. The only question is when. Number 2, do not buy a house unless you have a stable and secure job. Number 3, make sure you have an emergency fund even after you buy a house. If you liked watching this video, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I post videos about how this pandemic is affecting our real estate market, and I really enjoy making these videos for you. You also can follow me on Instagram. I'm Sacramento Realtor. Hope you have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.